And now UEN proudly presents Cheese Cubed. 3 tasty bits of cheese knowledge in one compact package. First, it's cheese by the numbers. Today's number is 571.3. That's the number of cheese pounds in millions sold in the U.S. last year. That's a lot of cheese. Like milk through a strainer, these are the ways of our cheese. In this week's segment, scientist Dr. Craig Oberg answers your question. When is mold on cheese good, and when is it bad?
Well, mold and cheese, they have a curious relationship, and we're probably part of the problem and part of the solution. So when you make a cheese, and I have a classic cheese here that uses mold, it's a brie cheese. When you make cheese, you're going to take the milk and you're going to add a bacteria to it, and this bacteria is facultative, meaning it can grow with or without oxygen. And so we're going to make this cheese, and we're going to force the bacteria to, we make this cheese, to grow without oxygen. And then we package the cheese, and most cheeses are packaged in a vacuum sealed pack. And here's where the mold comes in. The mold is strictly aerobic and requires oxygen to grow. And so that's the relationship. Probably in the beginning we made cheese. We had no intention of having any mold on it, but mold is ubiquitous. Mold spores float around in the environment. We come in contact with them constantly. And somewhere in the history of cheese, on this particular cheese, a mold fell on it, grew on the surface, just like this brie, which you can see on the surface of the brie is a white mold mass of mycelium. And generally, the people probably threw it away and thought it was bad. And one day somebody must have been really hungry and took a bite out of this and said, hey, this tastes pretty good. So sometimes mold is good. We have a lot of products where we use mold, like this cheese that I have right here. It's a blue cheese. We use a penicillin mold. This mold is very closely related to the mold that we use to make penicillin, the antibiotic. And it's very closely related to that green mold that covers the fruit and vegetables in your fruit and vegetable bin in the refrigerator that you find so disgusting that you have to throw out. They're all really almost identical. So I guess part of the relationship between mold and good and bad cheeses, up to you. Do you like the taste of it, or don't you? I'm Craig Oberg, and I'm a dairy microbiologist.
And now it's time for the queso quiz. Test your cheese knowledge. What is penicillium? A. Fungi. B. Mold starter. C. Both A and B. The answer is C. Penicillium is a principal genus of fungi used to develop molds on certain cheeses during ripening. Cheese Cubed is a tasty bit of cheesy knowledge brought to you by Utah Education Network with support from Cache Valley Cheese, DSM Food Specialties, Schreiber Foods, Gosner Foods Incorporated, and the Western Dairy Center. Learn more at uen.org/TV.